Hello, everybody. My name is Sander Gusenow, and I am a second year graduate student at Columbia University for playwriting. I knew Meryl a long time ago when she taught a young me how to do all kinds of great writing things, and she really sort of was one of the main reasons I decided to sort of pursue writing and know that's what I wanted to do. She was a big part of that, so it's really nice to be able to just talk with you guys and give you maybe some tips. Because maybe, hopefully, this class or whatever it is you're doing will help you to maybe come to writing as well. You don't have to. I mean, writing's not for everybody. But if you like it, hopefully these tips will help you just be better and may help you through some things. Okay, so when you're writing plays, I think something that I wish someone would have told me earlier is you need to figure out when you're writing either a whole play or like just one scene of a play. It's always important to figure out what the event is, what's happening in the scene. Don't just have two characters just talk to each other. You should be able to say, okay, this is what's going on in the scene or in the play. Not this is a play with I don't know, an angry guy and a nice guy. What are the angry and the nice guy? What are they doing? And what's the like the Odd Couple is a really good. That's maybe before your time, but yeah, it's like the clean guy and the neat guy. But always there's some event that's going on, like they get a dog, or they have two dates, or something that is moving the story along. It's not just them hanging out. So I think, yeah, that's rule number one, is make sure that your plays and your scenes all have an event happen, have something happening in them. It doesn't have to be so big as like I don't know, a pirate invasion or something, but just something going on. Like, oh, I'm asking you for, to lend me some money, or I'm uh, asking you to go on a bike ride with me, or something like that. Okay, that's tip number one. Hardly a rule. Tip number two is, I would say, don't be afraid to have your characters speak differently from each other. Usually when you're like, this has happened with writers who have a really big vocabulary, and I love words, so I have a really big vocabulary. You're really excited to have every character use the most powerful, convoluted language possible. Convoluted means like complicated. Language possible, and that usually isn't very interesting to read. I mean, you can have a character who's smart, um, doing a lot of, language wordplay sort of thing. But if they're not so smart, or if they don't need it, don't be afraid to distinguish people by the way they talk. That's tip number two. Tip number three is a little bit more meta, and I think it's that writing, in my opinion, is like a muscle. It's not like something you have to spend and then get back in terms of like energy. So I would suggest write as much as you can, and you don't have to figure out a specific day to write or a specific time. You can if that works for you, but make sure that you write at least every day. And this is coming to tip number four, which is, if you know something's bad that you're writing, you don't like it, don't get discouraged, because if you know something's bad, you also know what's good. Bad writers don't know that their work is bad. That's that's something that I think you should know, because it can be discouraging knowing you're writing really kind of clunky stuff. But if you can write clunky stuff, that means you can write unclunky stuff, which is great. And finally, I would say just write what you want. Okay, don't write what other people tell you or what you think you need to be writing about right now. Just write stuff that interests you first and foremost, because that'll keep you coming back to writing about it. If there's a topic that interests you, don't say, oh, that's not a good enough topic, or oh, this theme that you're writing about isn't pertinent. It's if you like it and it interests you, odds are it's going to interest a lot of other people. So don't get discouraged when people say you need to write about politics or you need to write about, I don't know, animal rights. Or you certainly can write about those things, but if you don't feel like you want to write about them, don't write about them. Write about what you want to write about. If you want to write about seahorses, okay, write about seahorses. It'll be great, and you'll just and you will like it, and that's the most important thing. So anyway, those were my tips. I hear that I'm quoted in your guys' textbook when I was younger. I would really like to know what that says. But I hope this has been helpful. All right, bye.